Hello, and welcome back to Super Mario Mayhem. In the last video, we played Donkey Kong on the Coleco Atom. And in this video, we're playing Donkey Kong 3 on the NES. We're finally back on the NES. Well, not finally back. I had played NES games before this one. But you know, finally feels good to be back on a Nintendo console after playing. Well, to put it into perspective, trying to get the Coleco Atom version of Donkey Kong was, let's just say, a pain. I'm not going to get into details, but it was really difficult to get the thing running. But now that that game is done with, we're getting ever so close to mainly just focusing on the Nintendo side of games. And so, here we are. Well, we're playing Donkey Kong 3. This is a port of the arcade version, and I think it is the only port of the arcade game. I don't think Donkey Kong 3 was ever ported to anything other than the NES. Unless you count the Virtual Console release, or the Arcade Archive on Switch. But regardless, it's Donkey Kong 3. I still don't know how to do a proper intro. It's a weird departure from the Donkey Kong series. There's no platforming, it's more shooting. If you watch the video that I did where I played the arcade version, you would see. From what I've experienced, the NES version is far more easier than the arcade version. So, without much delay, let's get into the game. So, as with the arcade version, the ultimate goal is to push Donkey Kong up to the top of the screen. There are bugs forming you, pestering you. Get hit by them and you die. The worm that comes down the trees can be especially painful because you can't really kill it unless you have the Super Spray, which I have. You know, because the sprays you do is orange. This version is a lot less more like visually presenting than the arcade version. Again, much like all the other NES ports, a lot of stuff had to get cut for it to fit on the NES cartridge. At least that's what I assume. I expect myself to get at least a little bit farther in this version than the arcade version. I don't remember how far I got, but I didn't get that far in the arcade version. Well, you know, I'll try to get at least farther. Maybe past the second loop, if we're lucky. I'm trying my best to shoot these bugs. Oh yeah, if you shoot all the bugs, if you shoot enough bugs in this version, eventually the hive will run out and you'll just move on to the next stage, which is like the alternative way to finish a level. Because you know, it's not as easy to push Donkey Kong all the way up. Sometimes it's much easier to just spray the bugs. Besides, they give you really good points. Ah, man. I feel like a lot of people enjoy this version a lot more, but that's probably because it's a lot more easier and more forgiving than the arcade version. I got one up. But, you know, if you're looking for some form of challenge, then just go play the arcade version. Alright. Nice detail I've just noticed when playing this game is that the reason why the bees don't get you when you push Donkey Kong all the way up is that it pushes, when he gets up there, I think the ropes that support the hives just drop on the ground. And thus, like, closing off the entrance of the beehive. Or at least that's what I like to think. Alright. Cool. Doing pretty well in this. Doing pretty good. Push Donkey Kong all the way up there. Nice. When you have the super spray, it's really easy to get Donkey Kong all the way up to the top of the screen, but, you know, the problem with that is that you only have one super spray per life. So, use it as much as you can. And it's also the only real way to kill the worms that come down. Oh. That was terrible. Oh, jeez. Well, that's my last life. And that's the game. Game over. No game over tune. It's just silent. Weird choice that I always thought that was odd in the NES version is that they removed the little fanfares. Like, it doesn't play a song when you beat, like, a loop. And it doesn't play a song when you get a game over. It's weird. But yeah, that's Donkey Kong 3 on NES and Famicom. It's a lot more easier than the arcade version, but it's still like a completely different game and to the other Donkey Kong arcade games. It's still fun though. Still a fun game to play. But other than that, it's no support of Donkey Kong 3. Join me next time, and we'll be playing a Donkey Kong 3 semi-sequel. You'll see what I mean in the next video. So I'll see you next time.